Welcome to Storytime, etc. We try to post scary stories every day, so please subscribe and hit the bell button to get notified.
Story 1. My first sleep paralysis story. True. I don't remember exactly when this was. I'm pretty sure it was around March of 2018. I was 12 years old and in 7th grade. I often listened to, read scary stories online about things like sleep paralysis, but I never thought it would happen to me. So before I had woken up, I was having a strange dream. I was playing Counter-Strike, but it felt like I wasn't paying and it was real. I was shooting some targets and then I blacked out for a second. I woke up on the main road that goes into my neighborhood and saw that the road was gone. The houses on my street were very small, 2-story box houses. There were elderly people standing out front the houses all reading a newspaper, and the sign at the front of my neighborhood only read, "Brook," with the rest crumbling off. I then appeared at my morning bus stop for school looking at my phone. Everything was normal until a bush, that normally isn't there, screamed at me. I remember clearly feeling as though this was normal, so I screamed back. We went back and forth until I woke up with the scream echoing in my ears. I was in my bed looking against the wall, unable to move. I hadn't realized that I was experiencing sleep paralysis, but was still freaked out by that screaming to fall back asleep. I lay there not hearing anything for about 5 minutes. I then heard what sounded like heavy boots hitting the ground out in my living room, coming towards my bedroom area. Just so you know, outside my bedroom there is a hallway, on the left is a bathroom, at the end is my parents' room, and at the end on the right is a door that goes to my living room. The footsteps grew closer, coming to the hallway and then my parents' room. At that moment I remembered my dad was out of town on a business trip, so it was just me, my mom and my 7-year-old brother. I heard the walking start up again and come towards my room. The door opened and whatever was out there came in, walked to the side of my bed, and stared at me. I close my eyes and begin to pray. I'm not really religious, but it's the only thing I can think to do. After what felt like hours I try to turn over to look and see if anyone is there. I roll over with my eyes still closed to appear to anyone that is there that I'm still asleep. I open my eyes and begin to squint, the coast it clear. I crawl out my bed slowly and look at the clock, 4:14 a.m. Dang, I got school tomorrow, I thought. I tiptoed over to my door and grab a decorative ore my mom put on the wall in my room and walk out into the hall. The light in our living room door was open with light on, which was not normal, especially when my dad's out of town. I checked the bathroom and peek around the corner of the door. Nobody, so I make a silent sprint into my mom's room, putting the ore down on the floor. I shake her awake, quietly whispering her name. "Mama, I think there's someone in the house," I heard walking around outside my room and I began to tear up, realizing this all may have been in my head, and I woke up my mom for nothing. "It's all right, my name. We can go check the house real quick." I grab the ore and go check the house with my mother. There was nobody in our house, so I go back to bed, relieved that we were safe, and that none of that was real. I haven't had a sleep paralysis experience since, and am glad it wasn't worse. This story seems like nothing compared to some of the other stories about it that I've heard. I hope you enjoy reading this. Story 2. I think the water plant is haunted. Hello everyone. I'm a water treatment plant operator. Been doing this about a decade. I've been the night shift guy my whole career. The nights are normally quiet and can be boring if everything going to plan. My plant has a few different builds, the oldest is 60 or so years old. The main building I spend a majority of the shift in is only roughly 20 years old. For more backstory of the area, this used to be a booming energized area. This area was littered with railroad tracks and drifters coming and going on the trains of yesteryear. Our farms and factories were very bountiful back then. Now that you all understand that, you must also understand that with success in an area there is also a darkness. From the settling of the area, wars with natives, and even into the 30s and 40s of people being killed in train wrecks and bad business deals, the grounds are laced with a darkness. The silence of the night shift can be eerie all on its own. Lots of bumps and bangs in the dimly light darkness. On the night I'm now about to speak about, everything started out as normal. I came in around sunset, got the nightly Passover, and began my work. Around midnight I had to do my rounds around the property while getting the nightly pump numbers. I made my rounds with nothing but a flashlight around the main building. The oldest building is a good walking distance away from the main building. I sat out in the dark headed for that building. I must also add that we aren't in the nicest area of town, however I'm a big guy and can hold my own. As I made my walk I got an uneasy feeling. I had gotten them before, but I have a job to do and nothing came out of it. I rounded the corner and unlocked the door. As I did this the hairs on the back of my neck stood up. Again I have a job to do though. I opened their door and there stood nothing. I walked in and proceeded to get my numbers. I turned around to walk to the exit. As I turned to shut the door I looked up down the hallway to see a woman in pure white looked at me through the other door. I almost jumped out of my boots and pissed myself a little. I fell backwards. As I came back to reality I once again made eye contact with this entity. As I met her gaze everything in me said, "Hey, your life is in danger buddy." Her face distorted and started to shift around. I was now frozen as she shifted into what looked like an Indian warrior. His eyes were glowing. As I got to my feet he had shifted into this huge wolf creature. The growls were chilling to say the least. It snarled them ran towards me. I had no time to even shut the door. I ran as fast as I could screaming bloody murder. I felt it trying to bite my backside. I got a hold of my pants leg and tore it in shreds. I stumbled and rolled, but somehow managed to come up on my feet. I darted into the main building, and as I shut the door I felt a hard thud on the other side. I locked the doors and cowered down inside. I could hear the thing casing the build growling and scratching at the walls. I got the courage to look out the window, just end up face to face with the white lady again. I had the police come and sit with me till the sun came up. No one else has seen the white lady since. It's still quiet freaky, but I have a job to do. Story 3. Burglary Horror Story. I live in a fairly secure area and have 2 dogs. One is a large Doberman and the other is a poodle. I was home alone as my parents were out for the weekend. Our dogs bark a lot as they are very protective and the neighbors hated when the dogs barked. And would often get notes telling us to keep the dogs quiet. One of the more threatening ones was that he would hurt the dog if he wouldn't be quiet. So, my parents had them taken to a dog kennel to avoid any complications. I was home alone playing video games and watching movies for the weekend. It was the night after they had left and I was playing a video game. And I think it was Rainbow Six Siege. I was playing with a few friends and I had my microphone on. I was playing with my window open. And my friends kept telling me to stop making a squeaky sound. I questioned what he meant and my friends said that it was a loud banging. I removed my headphones and that was when I heard it. The sound of something slamming into the gate. I peered out. It was a tall, stocky man with a black hood on, looking down, slamming his body into the fence. As the fence was weak, the wood was splitting. I decided to call the police then my parents, but decided to stay near the window. Still watching the man, I was talking to the 911 operator. The operator told me to lock myself in a room, get out of sight and that a police officer was on the way, but curiosity got the better of me. I decided to continue watching the man. He finally broke the wooden gate off its hinges but he didn't enter and he strapped something around his shoulder. And upon further inspection, only from the moonlight, saw a hunting rifle strapped to his back. That's when I went and hid underneath the bed and listened out for anything. Until a loud shatter broke the silence, which was the back door smashing followed by footsteps entering the house. The intruder sounded like he was searching for something. He was creeping up the stairs until the sound of police sirens flooded my ears and I made the stupid decision of bolting trying to escape the house. And I started to get to the stairs and turned the corner and was greeted by a large man following the description of the man trying to break in. The man gripped his neck and the police sirens got louder. And the police were knocking on his door. He was quickly losing breath from the man strangling him. The cloth covering his face slipped down to reveal my neighbor. I was nearly out of breath. He let me go and gripped his rifle and aimed it at me and pulled the trigger but it didn't fire. The dumb ass left the safety on. The police kicked the door down and tased the man. The man was found and was charged with breaking and entering and carrying an unlicensed firearm. I'm thankful that the safety was on and this could have ended very badly. I later went to my Xbox and told my friends what happened and that I almost died and they were very concerned.
Thanks for watching. Let us know your thoughts in the comments section. And please like and subscribe to help support the channel.